Hello everyone, it's match day 2 in Group B. We're starting with USA versus Canada. And for Canada, they just have to see if they can keep the streak rolling. And for Team US, they're kind of under pressure, losing the first match against Germany in a very close battle. And yeah, that's why I have US expert Tanatron with me here today. Hello. Let us know how big is the pressure here in Team US, and how confident are you in just winning against a very strong Team Canada this year?
Hello. Excuse me. Geez. Like I wasn't ready or something. Hello, everybody. Super happy to be here. We are here for the border war. This is the Battle of North America. We have the U.S. with their backs against the wall here. So we're going to need to pull out all the stops to make sure that, we don't go 0-2 and sort of tail between the legs, slink out of the Nations Cup here. That's not what any red-blooded American wants to see right now. So, I have a lot of faith, and there's definitely been some prep. I've actually never heard of anybody on the Canadian team besides Comtrues. I don't know those other two guys. You know,
Yeah, not too
feeling pretty,
familiar names, right? J.
yeah, feeling pretty
King.
strong.
I mean, how strong can a player be that has King in his name? I don't know.
Right, with a number afterwards. Come on.
I think whenever J King reaches 7 World Championship titles, I think he's retiring. I think this is what the 7 stands for. And yeah, I think he's on a good way to achieve that. But yeah, for today, we have a lineup here. Team US just bringing the same lineup as last time with Winnie, the Orcs Corn guys in there as well, and Starry. And yeah, also no changes here for Team Canada with J King, Birdo, and Truce. And in this first match, the pauper format, where no elites and no specials are allowed, we will have, the Clash of the Titans here. Winnie versus J King will be our first match. And yeah, I think I can't wait for the first match. I'll just give the players a go, and whenever they're ready.
Two true alternate format enjoyers. We've got some guys who have put a lot of effort into Pauper and a lot of love into Pauper, which is crazy given, huge tournament stalwarts that they would even have the time or the efforts to even want to think about, an alt format when these guys are in so many tournaments. And,
Yeah.
Vinny plays even other games at a competitive level. So the fact that that we get this match here, maybe the two best Pauper players in the world. We'll see. This is a high billing here.
Yeah, I'm also just excited to see what both are bringing. We just saw last week when you are bringing decks that are kind of predictable, like this US Brit deck that we just saw a lot. It's easy to counter, and we might just see J King bringing it again. Oh, I have to set up you here 1 second.
Yeah, J King definitely standing by, the Pauper deck that he sort of had a hand in the formation of, that sort of meta Pauper that we've seen a lot throughout this competition. As you brought up a great point, if you absolutely know and believe that they're playing that meta deck, then there are obvious ways to counter it. We've seen that as
Oh,
well.
well, look at this. This looks like a deck that we just saw yesterday, kind of. I think it was another main nation there from Gato. But France is pretty strong against this Brit US deck with the Californias. And looks like, J King bringing it again, and Winnie is well prepared against it.
Yeah, those Briannes, 3 damage to the enemy unit that kills them. Those fire ambush, that's 3 damage. Those numbers are the same amount of health that you're gonna see on those commandos and on those Californias. So
Yeah, the hammer is just super broken against even the buffed California. 6 damage is super important. Also against the Lancashire Fusiliers, also have 6 health. So there are good answers in Britain Arsenal there to answer this deck. And we might see if J King just runs out of units again, as we just saw in the last match from Team Canada in the pauper format, or can bring the Californias through this time. Another Fury Ambush here.
a lot of good tech. We see the defend in depth sitting in Vinny's hand, which is going to be a great way to get some light punishment for J King carrying a big hand. He's going to be able to get a lot of value as far as removal damage for only spending 3 credits. The Rima here also could be a big play. Those Briands, once they get mobilized from that Rima, they become not only a unit with an incredible destruction effect, but suddenly they become an actual viable body as well. And once you've combined those two things, it can mean a lot of trouble. The 17th Rifle Regiment as well, a unit with a lot of options. It's got Blitz, it heals itself, it buffs itself. It is a huge unit, but you know, there's a lot less bounce to worry about here. There's a lot less removal to worry about here. So can get away with playing something like that. I have to say that in the beginning here, this really favors Vinny.
I mean, sure, all Winnie has to do is kind of lean back and just wait until J King plays the Californias and then instantly removes them. Because other than that, there's not really any win condition in this deck. I mean, there are the Fusiliers, but not really anything to push out the damage there once the Californias are dead. So that's kind of the main task here. So Winnie just controlling the board, maybe ship down a little bit. Yeah, just lead out J King here.
And I'm not really sure what J King can grab with that countermeasure, right? I'm not confident to say there's no deployment effects in this in Vinny's Pauper deck here, but it's certainly light on them as we see already. We've got destruction units and the Rima with guard and then some passive text. You know, these are not something that countermeasure to catch deployment effects is going to do well. J King maybe also setting up for the full board wipe here. He knows that the Rima is going to make those Briansk super annoying. So he may choose to just rot this board. Yeah, and there it comes. He can't possibly take that 10 or so damage to the face.
Oh, wait, what? Ah, yeah, it's from the mobilize. The mobilize effect kicks in here. Nice.
The Rima's mobilized, keeping 2 units alive. J King kind of already up against it.
I mean, he has the combo one more time. Has Monsoon Rod and Supply Shortage in hand here, and I think kind of needs to play it here.
He knows those units in the front line are dead. They're not going to attack again, but it also prevents him from being able to take the front line with his California, which is exactly what Vinny wants. Vinny able to sit back with a big tank. And keep in mind, no matter what happens with that California, it's dead. Vinny holding all sorts of removal. 3 different ways to just flick that guy right off the board.
I'd expect to see an 8-8 here.
This is a huge lead by Vinny, sitting pretty. Again, not a deployment effect in the hand of Vinny. Gets a blitz tank to boot.
So Winnie has ways to kill this 8-12, but that also affords a lot of removal here.
And that 8-12 was granted guard, so he will have to go through it. That is a big deal. Of course, you can see J King with 7 cards in his hand, so 2 defending depths. And that whole unit is removed for 6, and he can still take the front line with his tank or basically just that, but looks like he's choosing to go with a more reserved approach. He's going to keep some of that juicy removal to himself for now. Oh, the P47 could play big here for J King. We're going to see a frontline push to end this by Vinny. We pretty much have to.
Yeah, and this Monsoon Rod Supply Shortage combo gets even more juicy now. That 7T's on board.
Yeah, it'll be really integral for Vinny to keep his last T34 back. He's going to need that blitz tank for after this board gets cleared. 13 health.
The hammer is a perfect tool to get rid of the California here. There's still an 8-13 on the board.
All 3 defending depths now. Vinny taking a little bit of face damage here. Playing a little slower himself. Holding those confusions in case a commandos ever comes out and gets all the way to the front line, but that kind of seems a little less likely at this point. Vinny really holding off the advance, not playing into that P47.
Oh, and another monsoon rod.
And that'll be all 3 rots for J King in the top half of his deck. Can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, the problem with drawing so much is that the defendant death just get insane value here for Vinny. Did Vinny
Right, those
already show his
Fusiliers.
ally with the Fury Ambush, right? He showed his ally, France.
That and the Remo that was played earlier.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah. So JK knows that he's up against France.
Yeah, taking out that 5-cost Fusiliers after it spent another credit to move to the front line. Oh, 8 damage for 3 credits. And he's just gonna double it up.
Feels base here, increasing the pressure for J King, but we know that there is another set of removal here. Can play supply shortage, monsoon rod, or P47. But I think he needs to clear the board.
J King also with intel on that T-34, so he knows that Vinny is holding a blitz tank. He has to have the front line, or Vinny can just win the game running that tank across the board.
That saves him at least for now.
That 3rd defending depth, though, with that and the Katyusha, that Fusilier is just gone.
Holding it back for the California, just utilizing this 8-3 or 8-8.
But this is maybe what J King wants here. J King obviously has to clear this whole board now. And with another Katyusha in hand, Vinny obviously has the chance of getting him, but if he doesn't get it and J King can take out that Katyusha with some combination of maybe another supply shortage or another the Stars and Stripes, something like that, Vinny might struggle to find this last 2 damage. Probably has a 3rd Katyusha in the deck, though. I believe we've only seen 2 so far. I'm sure there's a 3rd one in there. Maybe
There's another Fury
T-34.
Ambush, right? If he can just bring down 1 unit, if there's only 1 unit on board, he can bring it down as much as the defendant does, and then Fury Ambush. There's this 3 damage to face. But is there a way? Yeah, there's too many units, so...
Remember, Vinny's still holding a ton of confusion, so when that commando comes down, he is most likely going to get used against him.
50-50.
Take the roll.
Getting it and winning it.
The luck. The luck goes below the border to start. I definitely feel like Katyusha high rolls have been nerfed over the years. I feel like it was all the time back in the day. And then I felt like for a while it seemed to level out to 50-50. Now, in my personal experience in the last like maybe 2 patches, I feel like the chance of getting that extra damage with the Katyusha is actually below 50-50. I'm only speaking as a crazy person on anecdotal evidence, but
Yeah.
So definitely feels good to see that pop for the US and to take that popper match.
Yeah, good start in today's match here, and we just saw J King bringing the deck again, and Vinny really reading it well and having a deck that is well prepared against this archetype. So kind of not so good statistic here for J King in this year's Nations Cup. Played 2 matches and played this deck twice, lost twice. And match number 3 should definitely bring something else, I guess. Okay, next up we will have the Legacy format with Birdo versus the Corn Guy.
J-King gonna need carried here by the rest of Team
Oh
King.
my god!
I'm sure it's exactly what everyone expected.
Yeah, and that's why it's also just kind of a team format, right? You need to test a lot. You need to look what your opponent just brought in the past matches, what are they confident with, and then just adapt to this. And yeah, if you just have a good read and a good player to pilot the deck, you can get some good easy wins here. Corn Guy versus Birdo. 1 second.
Yeah, pretty safe play that J-King would bring the J-King Pauper deck. So definitely paying off big. And a Kachusha high roll doesn't hurt.
Definitely good 50-50 there, yeah. Okay. Data mode is set up. So whenever the players are ready, jump into the Legacy match. So all cards, even the reserved ones, are allowed in this format. Okay, I can hear the players are already in it. So.
As our border war continues, looks like we're seeing Legacy Jagger. We've seen that be very strong when you can run things like Desperate Measures, and maybe even Feigned in this deck, the things that have been taken out. And, you know, Britain probably playing something kind of slow, but no, maybe looks like just Brit Air, which makes a lot of sense. Corn Guy with 3 Type 93s in the opening hand, that is not good.
Looks like Birdo's screen share is not working.
Basically feeding him a cavalry regiment. An air landing they did is going to make the Aichi do 3 damage, or I'm sorry, the Sony do 3 damage to take the Aichi out. That's a very big deal. Korn with his second Aichi can make his first Aichi do 5 damage, but that won't be enough. I'd almost like to see him take out air landing here with a type to go up to 4 damage, but of course, taking any air units out of the air deck, never wrong, always going to be a benefit to you. Besides maybe to go after air landing the old-fashioned way on the ground.
Did a triple Type 93 there in Corn Guy's hand.
It is a triple buff wagon. He's guaranteed not stoked to see that.
Okay, nice. Birdo is playing and fixing the screen share at the same time.
Renaissance man, multifaceted.
Oh, look at this.
Cool, and now we can see the dirt. We can see the Empire. We can see the Monty. We can see this Sexton.
No airplane in hand to activate this air superiority. That's unfortunate.
Sure, what we don't see are air units, which is probably what he would like to have more. I would imagine Korn goes Aichi to put the other Aichi up to 5 and take this out. Okay, I mean, same difference.
There is a swordfish. So finally a way to activate the 3 power from air superiority.
Take out that 5-2 bomber nicely. Interesting that goes for the pin on the 5-2. Instead of killing it, 2 buff wagons make short work of the Sexton. And you can see Feigned in Corn's hands, which is a huge deal.
Oh, and another air superiority.
Corn
There's a
could
chance to
even
clear the board,
consider...
right? Swordfish, air superiority on the IG D3A1, and then you just play Empire Strikes and clear the board.
Yes, sir.
Or
Looks
you
like
play it
that's
in this
exactly what's
order.
going to happen.
Different order, same result.
And now you gotta wonder if Corn is going to just feint and throw 4 units away for the tempo. Now Corn says, I have Whirlwinds. I'm not throwing those away against air. I think that's probably the correct decision. Now he's probably thinking about 22 infantry Panzer for the free op cost and the type. But yep, chooses the Whirlwind route here in case Birdo is holding more planes. Birdo probably going to put a plane down, which will be
Lanty's
just top
top
decking
deck.
on this when he needs it.
Insane skill here.
He's only going to have to sacrifice one of those planes to the pin to be able to use air sup and get rid.
Well, that's a lot of stuff to deal with here.
Yeah, Corn says I've seen one Empire.
Birder has the Monty.
And of course Shelling as well. Legacy card that is probably in this deck. And we all remember the nightmares of Monty into Shelling or Shelling into Monty. Yep, just as we said, that'll be used to kill the Werble. Now we've got 2 bombers down. Ooh, Corn with a fighter. I can't imagine you feigned here. Yeah, you can't be throwing that away with bombers all over the deck. Next turn, I would not be surprised to maybe see for 9, Corn put down the signal, run the big key if he's able to, and then throw feigned. He'll only really be throwing away 1 card. It'll be very credit efficient. His draw mechanism will be planted for the rest of the match. Birdo's going to have to find AoE here, I would assume. Although that Wrath is going to delay every plan Corn has for at least a turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's at least taking a little bit of pressure out, but without AoE in hand and that Martyr on board, it's a lot of draw here for Corn guy.
And honestly, if Birdo goes after the Martyr here, I don't think that Corn really minds because of holding Feigned Retreat. He doesn't need that draw mechanism. He's got a better. And he's still doing 4 damage this turn.
The question is, do you go for the trade here? Probably on the Wellington. Going phase, I mean, that's a big board to stare down, and with not single close air support played by now, can't leave a lot of those on board. Still holding back the feint, because this fighter is so important to block these fighters, not fighter spawners. Another air superiority.
Oh, another air sub. Corn basically saying that he would enjoy the trade. If you want to throw Wellington and another bomber into the key, then that is fine. Again, I don't need it to draw. I am holding Feigned Retreat. But he's not going to get that now. Oh, he does. Birdo doesn't throw the 2-2 bomber in and then air sup it away, saving the Wellington. Just trades the Wellington.
Yeah, I mean, the 3 op costs really hurt him there. Slowing him down a lot.
Against Jagger especially, just saying that the Wellington is just too slow to run. More draw here.
Yeah, It's always
Corn can,
annoying to see this when you're faint retreat in hand, right? At some point you just want to drop it, but then you draw something that draws you, and then you just hold it back. It's a
yeah, like a
really
bicycle boy would have been a great draw. It's just
yeah.
two 1-drops and the 6. We would have been out of here.
Now he goes for it.
Throws Dina away.
Yeah, but if he plays it here, he's just losing a little bit too much tempo, I guess. You get two 1-drops, but what do you do next turn? Now he has infinite draw. And I think this was the correct decision at this point. But two more swordfish coming down here. Roberto.
Oof. Remains to be seen if that Akita going to face is going to be a blessing or a curse. Fury Spitty. Oh my goodness. Great Sendai top deck. Expensive, but the Fury Spitty no longer a problem. Thinking about possibly taking out the frontline plane for his own.
That's some APM here. Faster than cards can handle it.
Yeah, Corn with some good draws here too. He's going to get 2 damage off signal, clear the front line, and clear one of those back units. Hopefully one of the British bombers. One of the British bombers indeed. Berto right back to drawing. Would love to find his second empire. May even draw for it again. Holding plenty of bombers. Holding a pin as well with the type. Actually holding a kill now. He could kill the signal by using the albacore to pin the signal and then using the type's sudden strike to
Yeah,
then kill the pin signal.
good point. I think at some point he just needs to do it. The amount of draw Kornkai is having here from the feint. Just too much pings on the HQ from the feint. Not from the feint, from the signal regiment.
And certainly can't afford to wait for AoE any longer. And we'll see him take his guaranteed play here.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Those players with insane top decks here. 8 damage to face.
Yeah, does he just rip it? Or does he try to play for a sheet and lethal next turn? Maybe doesn't want to show Sheeden until he can, guarantee his win with it. He knows there's no crazy discard. There's no guards. Not really anything to fear here. It's just the race.
So I think at this point, Birdo knows what might be in Kongai's hand here. And the question is he finding an answer to deal 18 damage here? I doubt it, to be honest, since the Spitfire is already gone. More close air supports. Not what you want.
Yeah, he would have liked to see a naval supply run, I would imagine, is the only thing that he probably
Not really.
get a lot of help from. And now we see things like the pin coming out and the Parasy. So maybe very good for Corn Guy that he didn't take him down to 1. And all this damage just isn't going to matter, Berto.
There is a Shiden flying twice to the HQ in a few seconds here, closing out the game. And yeah, giving Team US a comfortable 2-0 lead here.
Big 2-0 lead in the border war. We got 3 good chances now to take Canada. I don't know where we're taking them. My brain kind of lapsed there. But to get the win that we need.
2-0. Alright. Now it will be Comtruce versus Derry in pure war format, I guess. Yeah, it's alright. Good start in today's match here for Team US.
Trying to make short work today.
Let's see. Clickerinos. Alright. Pure War next. One of my favorite formats. No orders allowed. Countermeasures and everything else is still allowed. Still waiting.
Players maybe trying to gather themselves here. Canada up against the wall now after starting the match with having the US up against
Okay, no.
the wall.
I was just hearing a sound that just sounded like the mulligan cards flying out, and there it is. Now it was the correct sound. Both players into maybe the deciding match here.
Sorry, looking like she's got some good draws here to start out. Oh, maybe not Noksha. You'd think Noksha barely would be good, but you mean you are going second, so I do understand. I could have maybe seen keeping the Nebel as well, but not too bad. On the other side, Tom Trues with an early Pato Yakov, that could be.
So 128. So it looks like a pincer deck here from Team Canada. And Starry is kind of playing, what is this? Germany, US mid-range control.
If that's a good draw for Starry. Gonna be able to replicate that 3-1 blitzer.
Ooh,
Looks like that's about to be useful.
Also not too bad of a start here for Canada. 3 units already on board. It's the autocannon.
When there's no orders, things like that passive card text or countermeasures or draw, anything like that becomes so important. Deployment effects can be so huge. I don't think we see a lot of deployment effects in this German deck, but let me tell you, if that Pato Yakov is on the ground when it comes around turn 10 and suddenly Leo can't really do anything.
I mean, Starry has the Comet in hand to deal with it. But
That's true. That's
yeah,
true. We're not
I
gonna.
see any bomber or artillery units are pretty strong in this format because, as you said, you need units to reach the support line, and they also need blitz to have a higher chance to ever get there.
We could see something like a T60 as well out of Starry with that Pato Yakov, which could become very annoying. Here it is. It's here to play. But luckily for Starry, the only deployment effect in her hand is Big Leo all the way on turn 10.
And that Schützen is pretty good here. Might just get eaten by the bomber and the artillery. Or you just ignore, right? If you come choose here, deal another 5 face damage.
Yeah, that might be the move, especially running low on cards. With the Emmy and Noksha, Starry does have some credit cheating potential. I she'll get 2 back here, which will be at least enough to pin the Artie. Like that. That's good stuff. Next turn, maybe comet that bomber out of here.
Ooh, Katyusha into 101st looks strong here for come choose.
It's not efficient, but it's going to maybe be the only way you can take it out. At this point, the Pato Yakov is just.
It's
as
even
a
better to
bomb.
play it on the Pelyakov, right? It brings it out of comet killing range. I mean,
Just as a bomber body, that Pato Yakov can be extremely effective, not even with its incredible passive text. Oh, and a money boy. Perhaps searching Comtrues for that possible careless, doesn't want to see its Katyusha get eaten by that.
it's a lot of stuff to answer here.
Yeah, it's just too slow to send the comet out after that bomber. It's just too slow. It's not going to do it for you.
What else can you do?
Possible lethal if Comtrues can return. Vinny's earlier Katusha high roll for the game. I mean, I guess you still do it. You take out the Comet. I'm sorry, you put the Comet down. You take out the Pedoyakov. You get a couple dollars from Nokshib, and you move your 5/5 to the front line. I'm not really sure what another play here would be. Maybe the MB to block the bomber, but I'm not really sure what else you're doing then. Ooh, okay. Takes out the Artie. I like that play as well. Starry thinking that she has the ME in hand. She's got a little fighter. She can block that bomber.
Yeah, I like it as
Big
well.
reduction on the damage that that Comtrues is able to do to face. Oh, the Heinkel. Heinkel's a big card for Comtrues to get here.
There's 4 to 5 damage on board here, but a big 5/5 to stare down in the front line. With the 101st, that's 1 additional damage. Maybe you just go phasey, hope that the Katusha is high rolling, and then you can finish it off with a Heinkel next turn. But that's risky if your opponent has a fighter in the support line, then this Heinkel is going nowhere. Interesting decisions have to be made here. Can just clear the front line maybe? Protect your back line?
Starry also able to float 1 on all of these turns, and Comtrues seems to be a little hesitant with what unit he's putting down and when. So that does feel like playing around careless talk.
The whole row?
Yeah, this is looking rough now though. That's gonna be 4, 5, possibly 6 damage, basically no matter what. I don't think there's really anything. Again, the Emmy has to come out now to block. Yep, it's gonna be really the only play here. And hopefully that Horo can return some fire.
So for everyone that's wondering why the Nebelwerfer is not coming down to take out the Gebirgs Pioneers, Perliakov is blocking deployment effects. So as long as this is on board, this Nebelwerfer is not doing too much other than being a 2 to artillery. Boys of War.
1 damage is still a big deal. Draw is a big deal. He basically, oh, that's helpful. Has to go into the Pedoyakov here with the Artie. He can then use a combination of the Nebelwerfer and the Schützen. Nope, that's 9 credit. Oh no, he'll get credits from Nokshib, so that would be possible. You could take the 2/5 out that way, but then there's still 3 damage on board, possibly 4.
Oh my god, this is so close. Harry has ways to kill the 2/5 to stay on board here, and then it's just up to a 50-50 for Comtrues.
If Starry could somehow survive this turn and make it to turn 9 with the Horo, she could spend 1 for the Horo's attack, kill something, and get up to 10 with Nokshib, and technically get Leo down on turn 9.
Oh, wait, what was that? Should have gone to the 2/5, right? And then you could attack with the Schützen and only give Comtrues the 50-50. So that was a little
Yeah, I believe so.
oopsie there.
Maybe a bit of a misplay, but really driven back, not really a whole lot Starry
Yeah,
can
I
do.
mean,
She's just sort of
yeah.
grasping at attempts.
So Team Canada not making it too easy here for Team US. Fights back. First win here now for Canada. Oh wait, why did you not tell me I put the score wrong? 2-1 for Team US. Oopsie. Okay. We have a match.
Still two good chances here, you don't have to sweep Canada. It's nice Nice gentleman's sweep here. Let him get one.
Yeah, that's really nice. Really kind. Okay, next up we will have Singleton and Birdo, and the corn guy will fight it out.
The teams here are symmetrical with the rosters. It's going to be 2 games of J King versus Vinny and 2 games of Birdo versus Corn Guy. If we do go the full 5,
Yeah,
Contras and
yeah,
Starry meeting in the middle.
Okay.
I know Team USA thinking about this, deliberating. I do not want to miss another opportunity to take this win over Canada. Really throw this pool back into contention for maybe all the teams. Suddenly, Canada and US at 1-1. The game for France and Germany then would be huge. We'd love a 4-way 1-1 tie in the group stage. All 4 teams at 1-1 would be incredible. You'd love to see that kind of parity. Corn guy coming with Germany, German US.
And the burrito man forgot to green share, I guess.
Berto also with Germany. I always think, that it feels like you're going to see like a true mirror because if you're both taking Germany and maybe even both US ally, and like you're probably going to maybe pick the same cards because you're going to take the really good ones and it's Singleton. You can only have one of each. So it'll be really interesting here to see how similar these decks are. But as soon as you think that, somebody will build German Singleton Hines, and someone will build German Singleton Control, and they'll play completely different. So there's a lot more variety than you might think within just the same nation in Singleton. It's a really fun uh, format to sort of see what you can pull off while still being restricted.
Okay, we have a hand from Birdo here now.
Oh, and we can see the King Tiger and the Flying Fortress. Birdo
Yeah,
with
looks
gas in his hand, but it might be a little bit before he can play it.
looks like a pretty greedy hand here. But yeah, as long as the game, or the longer the game goes, the more value Birdo gets out of these cards and the stronger his deck gets. That bounce already did a good amount of work here. Going to play the Vespa again. Not too good. I mean, it has 4 attack thanks to the Greyhound here. That Hellcat will reduce the attack cost, and then Birdo gets a good value trade here, keeping the FW alive.
Really nice stuff from Berto. Corn guy does not really have any good answers for anything that he is currently seeing. Being able to ramp out to that Yag bomber was a very big deal.
Yeah, that was a huge swing there, bouncing the Vesper, leaving Corn Guy with a Greyhound on board. And now, what do you do here? You Mr. Corn Guy. Too many good options. This is a smoke screen, so it can at least not be taken out, but we know that there's an ASW waiting in Birdo's hand, giving him the removal, get 3 extra credit slots. He's already at 11 here.
And I for one hate to say it, but this already looks over. As you said, this game's only going to get better for Berto as it goes on, but it looks good for Berto now in the mid game. So bleak.
Yeah, with King Tiger and B17 in hand. Can even kill the 99s now and deploy the... Oh, wait, what? Ah, yeah, okay. It was faster than the spectator mode again. Ooh, that's
One guy begging his world for stars and stripes or eagle claw. Isn't gonna find any of them. There's
Oh,
face, which is sort of a crazy play.
I mean, I think he kind of gave up, right? Like, how do you win in this position with this hand? There's absolutely no way.
And the wolf pack takes his draw.
Rip.
This one did not last very long. We're only needing like a tiny bit of ramp. I mean, obviously, once he found the ASW and a lot of ramp truly accelerated, but it felt like the game, the turn before Birdo plays that ASW, or AWS, no, ASW. Corn only has, the smoke screen tank on the board with a whole big backline that Birdo has. It looked like it was already dead there. Really only felt like it took a tiny bit of ramp for him to just
I mean,
push right past.
that was a really fast one here for a ramp control deck from Birdo. But that FW being able to play thanks to the 339 and 32, I guess. And there's only one copy in the deck, right? And Birdo found it, and the bounce with the FW, such a huge swing that could not really recover from that. And suddenly, Team US with a back against the wall again. 2-2
Singleton
now.
too, right? So that's the only milk truck in the whole deck.
Yeah.
Curving on curve and then curving into the only Yag Bomber. Well, obviously it's only ever one Yag Bomber in a deck, but
And now the team captains will decide it again
this
in
is
the standard format finals here. Match number 5.
this is definitely what we all came to see today, right? The border war going all the way to the limit. All the way to game 5.
Can J King win the first match in this year's Nations Cup? That's the big question. Oh, wow. Players are
Yeah.
fast here.
And truly, J King and Vinny both playing standard, something that they both have, only probably about 3,000 hours each in, give or take another 2,000 for each guy. When we see some more ramp here, we got a classic Bramp, it looks like, from Vinny here. Looks like he's really banking on J King, the control player,
Oh,
being J King, the
yeah.
control player.
I think he just had another really good read here what J King might bring.
He's going to ramp at turn 2, which is really nice. However, not a whole lot after that. Sincerely Yours will be a great card for Vinny on turn 4 if he's got nothing else. Yeah. Just see what we're going to
Quartermasters now.
draw. Some extra health.
Kazakhs coming in here for J King.
Bit of an interesting play here for Vinny. Knows he has the carpet bomb coming up in another 2 turns. Wow, yeah, just chooses to pass. Doesn't even want to give the quartermasters up or some of the damage on the quartermasters up. Just says, I have 26 health. That's more than I started with. I don't need 3 of them.
Yeah, this Kazakhs is not too much pressure at the moment. And yeah, with the
Maybe
Grengars probably coming down next turn, and you have the ASW. That's a lot of stuff to deal with those later on. And yeah, as you said, you don't sacrifice your quartermasters into this. With 26
hammer,
health.
hammer plus the Cossacks is a great way to kill that big 5/9 as well. So we'll see if Grenadiers goes right out of the window.
Hmm.
Thinking about maybe a slower play with just some cards.
Yeah, I think you want to have the, what is it, Bologna down before one
If
of
he
your
goes
units
Bologna,
dies.
yeah, if he goes Bologna Fiat, we could just see. Yeah, this might just be the carpet bomb. Well, no, no. If he's going to make that attack, then probably certainly not. Shaking playing so reserved. I thought for a second he might choose to hold up on that. Yeah, Vinny's just going to ramp. Either of these
Oh,
units
and
are a
hits
decent
the bigger
kill. Hits
unit.
the better one for sure. Yep. If you want 2 health by spending 2 credits to fly that into the Grens, then go for it. But what we knew earlier, that hammer. Oh, good Blackwatch.
Oh, what an
And he already
interesting
have a
match here for like, match number 5. I mean, this will not be over in 5 minutes, I guess. This will be really a war of attrition here. Both players with strong tools in their decks. And I think both experts in piloting those decks. Whew, this will be an interesting one.
oh no. And J King hovering Mr. Steal Your Girl. Is he gonna play it? Ah, Mr. Steal Your Girl takes a honey.
That's
Takes your
my honey
honeys. That's
now.
what he does.
Up
Contemplates
ball.
a half decent carpet. Probably has a second one. Definitely has a monsoon rot supply shortage in hand already, so he's already holding a full board clear.
Goes for the draw first.
Oh, I was gonna say now we can see quartermasters right into our need. Now we got big money. We've got draw. We've got ultra. We've got more ramp. Things starting to brighten up here for Vinny. Yakov could be a big play. Things like Mosquito and the eventual B17s that you know Vinny's packing in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of deployment effects there. Texton as well. So yeah, this Pelyakov could be a big deal, but there's still so much stuff to remove things in Winnie's hand here. Also supply shortage already played.
Yeah, and that 4 health against the carpet bomb looking good for Yakov right now. Unless Vinny can find another supply shortage. Of course, when you've got as much money as Vinny does, you can afford a full cost Wellington too. It's really not too big of a deal. Carpet bomb's efficient here, though. We know that the 5-4 is going to become a 5-1 and then die immediately to the supply shortage, already ticking it down. And those are some good units in the front line. That 2-7 with Fury. Oh, he did it the turn J King drew naval engagement. Of course, it's 11 cost because of the Blackwatch. He wouldn't have been able to play it, but still a big deal.
That is a big guard here. There comes the Saxon, but not too helpful as long as the Pelyakov is on board.
Does Vinny take his ASW? Hope for the good 50-50 again?
Could also go Wellington on the Pelyakov and then play the ASW.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, I know he can afford all that too. You're right.
Yeah, with 14 credits, you can do a lot of
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Probably thinking about what J King holds as board clears, but I think he knows that it's mostly backline. Takes his 50-50
And hits.
and hits it.
Just as we saw in game number 1 with the Katyusha.
Yeah, coming up. Coming up big for America here. Probably gonna hold up. No, takes the front line.
Yeah, you needs
Or
to play
adds to
another
his front
unit,
line.
otherwise you would overdraw. And this Blackwatch is really hurting J King here. 3 credit sickle.
Churchill can throw out almost anything J King throws down back. Wellington. can kill the Artie with the mosquito. Or heck, he could just pin it. He could just sit the Sexton on it. Just not have to worry.
Yeah, so many options here for Vinny.
And 2 cheap draws from Quartermaster as well. Already sitting on 17 huge credits.
So what do? You just go for the bounce with the Churchill?
I was going to say, if he Churchills, he can get 10 damage in from his board. And then with Wellington as well, you know, all the way up almost to 14 or to 14. Instead, he's going to take his draw. He is going to kill the Artie. He will go slowly through the Bryansk, not too worried about it. Although, if you don't take it out here, J King assuredly is going to throw it into the Black Watch. I would almost rather see him go down to a 4-1 and a 2-7 on his units with that Bryansk dead, because that it's just so much value making J King spend double.
Oh,
Well,
the
not double, excuse me, but +2.
How useless is this confusion? Still a really hard situation here for J King. I mean, the Bryansk can go to the Black Watch, and but what do you do afterwards? You have a Partisans, you have a Lion 4-day, but you can only play one of them. It's still not the greatest situation to be in. You can go naval engagement, maybe.
Well, if he kills the Black Watch, he would have 10, and then Partisans in line would cost 10, and
You're
with the
correct.
zero cost op in the front line, he could maybe pull a Partisans play, but it's still, I mean, it wouldn't be great, right? Like, it's not going to be like a trade or a full.
Yeah, you can just remove the 5th Rangers with it, right? So
He could also heal his Bryansk and just take out those 2 big units in the back line, which isn't insane. No, he will choose take that Black Watch out. It's been bothering him for so long. And then he'll take the 2 units out in the back line anyway. For J King, it is better to get that Black Watch gone than to heal the Bryansk up.
oh, fortification. So I'm also expecting Commonwealth in Winnie's deck. So problems increase here for J King once Winnie finds the Commonwealth. And also finish with that one now that he's above 30.
And even Wellington's now. You can see him kind of holding back. He doesn't want to go too far because he knows that J King is going to have some removal options, but it's mostly going to be target removal now that we've already seen. And I believe in J King's tournament version of Soviet Italy, I believe he only runs 1 naval engagement. So at this point, we are truly down to things like Lions and then maybe some Partisans to run Vinny's units into each other.
We're going Partisans into Red Banner here. Steal the Wellington.
Yeah, that's got to be the play. I would have thought that he would have put the train down and then just run the other way, but I don't think that bomber's going to help him. Wrath Lightning's going to put that expensive card in his hand, or it's just going to get frozen. And Vinny's still holding on to that Ultra. Ultra and Big Spitty. And this looks like it's going to be over.
Oh, not
the
yet.
Other line.
Not yet.
The other line is a big play.
But Ultra is a thing, and this is going to be catched. And
he can't use the confusion to test for it because there's nothing to test it on. Probably understands that. I mean, he could have maybe could have maybe chose to throw away his draw, that 5-year plan, but I don't think any situation was gonna bring it back. So we see America using American ramping over Canada, winning the border war, as everybody knew they would in the beginning.
Yeah, after a strong opening with a 2-0 lead, Canada fighting back, but yeah, J King
Never
just
doubted.
this what he did, what he usually is not doing too much, losing 3 Nation Cup matches in a row now, winning 3 times with really good reads against J King, and probably the MVP of today here. 2 times I think he just expected correctly what J King was bringing to the table here. And that means we have the first win for Team USA this Nations Cup. Let me
Off the schneid.
Let me update the score. And we can already see what is in. Why is this page taking 1 gigabyte of memory? There we go. Why is Canada still in front? Ah, because they won 3-1 against France. Team USA definitely in the race here. Just watching at this, I kind of said yesterday that Team Russia is already in the semifinals, which is actually not true, I found out. Next week we will have Russia versus Hungary, and if this ends 3-0 for Hungary and China wins 3-0 against Ukraine, then Russia would be out. It's not too likely, but there's a possibility. I just wanted to state this one out as well. And I think,
that's very interesting.
Yeah, that's still possible if I did not do an oopsie in the calculations there, but we'll see what happens next week. So I have to inform Team Russia they're not through yet. They still have to win at least 1 set. And looking at Group B here, Canada still in front, but Team USA also won their first match now. Tomorrow we will have Germany versus France. Definitely interested to see what we are going to see there.
Team USA, big French fans for the next couple of days. Big fans of France. Go patriarchy.
Yeah, it would help you a lot, right? If France wins tomorrow, I think they have good chances, but I think Team Germany is also in a good shape this year, like a lot of teams are. So, Tenatron, thank you for spending your lunch break with me here. Have fun going to work again. I'm just relaxing a little bit afterwards. Thanks for being here. It was a pleasure to have you. And we will see each other tomorrow, hopefully, guys, with Germany versus France. Stay healthy, good luck on the battlefield, and bye-bye.